Hey, what is going on YouTube? Mike here back with another video. So we finally got our hands on the Poco F7 here on the channel, and I just want to give you guys some of my thoughts on this smartphone. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so in case you're not familiar, the Poco F7 was announced pretty late in comparison to the Poco F7 Pro and the Ultra. And yeah, it's interesting that Xiaomi first decided to launch the Ultra and the Pro models. But anyway, we do have the regular version here with us. And it does come with some significant changes, at least in terms of design, compared to the two other F7 models. For one, you do get a larger size this time around. It actually outsizes both the Poco F7 Pro and the F7 Ultra with a 6.83-inch display, and it does feel a bit wider in the hand, at least when compared to the Poco F7 Pro, and it's got a hefty feel to it without being too heavy overall. As you can see on the back, we do get a much different looking design. By comparison, the Poco F7 Pro and the F7 Ultra did come with a circular camera cutout and a two-tone matte design. And while the F7 does maintain the two-tone design, it comes with a fully glossy back. We do have the black model, and it does come with a more low-profile camera bump with some colored accents on the lens cover, and the metal ring around the camera does go across the main lens and the ultra-wide lens. Of course, on the bottom, you do get your USB charging port, your SIM tray, and your speaker grill, and there's not much else on the sides save for the power and the volume buttons. And yeah, overall, I do think that it's a sleek looking phone. Now, going back to the display, it does come with a 120Hz refresh rate, and it does peak at 3200 nits of peak brightness, and you should have no trouble when viewing the display outdoors. The large display, the high brightness, and the smooth refresh rate do mean that it's going to be ideal for content consumption like watching your favorite Netflix shows, daily use scenarios like browsing the web, using your social media apps, and of course, gaming. Now, speaking of gaming, the phone does come with the Snapdragon 8s Gen 4, which is one of Qualcomm's latest flagship grade chips. Now, in terms of benchmarks, there's not much considerable differences with the older 8 Gen 3, but nevertheless, it's great to see a flagship grade chipset inside a phone of this price. Now, this is accompanied by 12 gigs of RAM and up to 512 gigs of storage. And yeah, as far as performance goes, there's really not much to complain about when talking about Poco phones, as a lot of the high-end Poco devices come with more impressive performance setups. So it's going to be ideal for gaming if you play a lot of graphics intensive games. And of course, you do get built-in software if you want to tweak your gaming experience further. So there are some additional settings that you can mess with on this phone. And Xiaomi says that also comes with Poco's largest ever 3D dual channel ice loop cooling system, which in theory should keep things relatively cool if you're using the camera a lot, if you're using data a lot, or maybe you're gaming really often on this phone. And Xiaomi says that it uses 13 sensors in addition to an AI-based temperature control algorithm, which should regulate the overall thermals on this phone. Now, building on this gaming experience, the phone also comes with a pretty large 6500 mAh silicon carbon battery inside. That's 500 mAh larger than the Poco F7 Pro, although it should be noted that the Indian variant of the phone does come with a larger 7550 mAh capacity cell, although both models of the phone will charge at 90 watts. For software, you are getting HyperOS 2 on top of Android here, so you are getting a ton of pre-installed apps on this device. You can choose to uninstall a lot of these, although not everything will be removable from the phone. But as I've said before in other videos, one of the biggest saving graces of HyperOS is the customization that you get as well, so you can customize nearly everything on your UI, which does make for a more personal and more interesting user experience. Now, as for the camera, you do get a dual sensor setup here, which includes a 50 megapixel main camera in addition to an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera. In front, you're getting a 20 megapixel sensor for selfies and video calls, although when it comes to video, there are some considerable differences. For example, the rear cameras can capture up to 4K video resolution at maximum, but by comparison, the front camera can only capture 1080p video resolution, which is kind of a downer, and it's the same situation on the Poco F7 Pro as well. So yeah, that's something to consider if you're very particular about the camera specs on this smartphone. With that said though, point and shoot photos will mostly look good. Camera quality these days on most mid-range smartphones is fairly impressive, and in the end, it's going to depend heavily on individual preferences. The phone also comes with an optical in-display fingerprint sensor, so it's not going to be that fast compared to the F7 Pro, for example, and it's going to come with a dual speaker setup, which does sound pretty loud and gets some decent bass in there. Alright, so one of the biggest things to note about the Poco F7 is its price, which starts at £389 here in the UK. Xiaomi is offering an early bird price though, so you can get it for just £319 if you order your device early enough. But that said though, for the specs you're getting, like the display, the chipset inside, the battery capacity, as well as the overall performance, you're getting a lot of good hardware for a price that's considerably cheaper than nearly all flagship phones out there. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about the Poco F7. Are you planning on getting this phone? Do you have any of the other F7 devices with you? Don't forget to check out our other videos here on Team VRY. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.